Even though I really wanted to mind my business, I could not at this level of verbal abuse. Rita had done an excellent job of really ignoring his rants totally, and as much as I relished her full attention on me, I still felt the urge to step in a bit more. Guy, calm down. Shouting and throwing insults on her doesn't serve you any need, and I really don't think you should be verbally abusing somebody like that. I told you to not mind that guy. Rita interrupted me. That thing they are looking for, they will not find it. Kids. She tied the separate white nylons containing my orders and put the two inside another big black nylon I handed to me. I momentarily switched my mind from the guy and reached behind my back pocket for my wallet. Pulling out the single 1,000 naira note inside, I handed to her. While I slotted the balance back inside my wallet, it dawned on me that I had not really interpreted what Rita said earlier on. That thing they are? Who is the they? I asked myself. Then I heard a second voice. It be like say that girl don dey too see person finish. His face was partially hidden from the rays of the hanging fluorescent lights. Maintaining his sitting position. And who come be that nonsense guy wey wan carry matter wey no concern am? At that moment, I knew something was up. A couple of things became clear to me. First, this is not the first time these guys are coming to patronize Rita, and she knows them more than I thought. I could already piece one or two together to figure that either one or two of them wanted more than bean cakes and fried yam from Rita. Second, in my bid to stay manly and impress this new girl, I just may have gotten into something way over my head. The initial guy looked like his fire has now been added petrol and immediately went from 30 to 70. That guy no one respect himself, he replied the second guy. Baba won't carry matter wey no concern am. The stupid guy won't buy case. His voice louder and seemed more like he wanted me to hear him clearly. And I did. It was obvious now that he wanted to lure me in with a direct insult at me. And given that his man, I presume, had given him some kind of backing, there was now an increased morale to continue. Even though I knew it's a bait, I wasn't going to stand and watch him call me stupid. Guy, please don't insult me, I quickly and thoughtlessly replied. If you cannot exercise patience in a public place for something that will eventually get to you, then you need fixing. I didn't mind if you understood what I was saying because, judging from their pattern of talking and intonation, it doesn't appear so. But I was more concerned about having the last talk than making sense to them. The second guy that spoke now stood up from where he was staying. Advancing front towards where I was standing, he shot at me again with more direct words. Bros, it be like say you dey craze. He crossed over the single bench that was demarcating the canopy stand from the fire stand. Advancing closer now, he continued. You sabi me? Why you go dey talk anyhow? Apparently, he understood what I said. Now your papa go fix my guy abi na your mama? I instinctually took 4 steps back as I observed his height tower above the first guy. Rita had earlier disappeared into the background as the voice of the second guy continued to grow louder. It was as he advanced closer to me that I observed her coming out with her mom. Seemingly, she had gone in to fetch her. I took 2 further steps back and stopped. Indeed, I may have gotten in way over my head. The initial guy may have sensed my fear because he too now started walking towards where I was standing. There were 2 of them now standing before me, and the second guy continued raining insults on me. Baba, you dey very stupid for that talk. You dey craze for that nonsense talk. E be like say you no sabi person wey you dey talk give, ba? You go like see something, make I show you. Your papa dey this town, abi your mama dey this town? Abi na God wan punish you and your papa this night? Baba, you don't mumu like this, oh. Na craze dey worry you like this, so if you no know. The more he spoke, the more agitated he became. An expression that showed that he was pained by what I said. The initial guy had earlier started pacing in small circle with his hands in his pockets, as if he was planning something more sinister. This old guy no one respect himself, he blurted out erratically. Rita's mom had gotten to where this chaos was happening and started speaking to the tall one to calm down. But all her efforts seemed to be in vain as the guy barely gave her an inch of attention. Rita, on the other hand, seemed more concerned about her mom's safety. She held her on one hand, apparently dragging her away to a safe place. Within minutes of her arrival, Rita had pulled her mom a good distance from where the two guys were hounding me. As the tall one continued his abuse and the initial guy paced on, I collected myself well enough from my already growing fear to take a closer observation of the two. The two guys seemed to be in their late teens and possibly early 20s, no older than 22. The tall one seemed to be younger than the first guy and obviously louder. Then my thought shot back to what Rita mentioned when he earlier advised I ignore them. She called them kids. And indeed, they were. Their faces and voices apparently seemed to have been consumed by caffeine and smokes, as is quite evident on their red eyeballs, their black and torn lips, and rough skin. Even though I had seen they were still teenagers, it seemed quite late already because the fear in me had grown well enough. I had gotten in way over my head. The tall guy never let out or left my face. It was more as if he was daring me to do something. Baba, I no lie you. As you still dey here like this, you dey vex me. I fit do you anything like this because you don't mumu. You no get sense. His gestures and body movements showed a guy that was reveling in his way of life. I could literally smell his sweat and the stench of the smoke he probably had a few hours ago. As he poured abuses and saliva on me, I knew he had done this before. This is what he loves doing. He is enjoying it. Old guy, you no get sense. Your papa no get sense. This was not what I bargained for this night when I left my house. I didn't figure that somewhere this night, a guy, a kid, would be directly in my face throwing saliva at me and calling my father with so much disdain. I didn't figure I would be embarrassed to this level just for advising someone to wait for his turn. I took a distant look to where Rita and her mom were standing. I could see on her face a look of someone witnessing my defeat. I felt embarrassed and overwhelmed. There was nothing I could say at this point that would flush the insults. Mostly, I couldn't come up with anything at all to say. I wasn't prepared for a fight either. No, I was prepared to catch a girl's attention. Perhaps all that is left for me was to back out, walk away from them. It was about the only option left, at least the only option I could accept. But it would mean quite a number of things, sad things. It would mean I wasn't capable of defending myself. It would mean not man enough. And in the context of pursuing and wooing the female species, the male that showed the most strength wins. I had earlier come to terms with the fact that their actions had a lot to do with their interest in Rita. Another thing I'm coming to terms with is that I'm losing this fight for her attention. It means I'm weak, and weak men are not capable of defending their women. Yes, that's what backing out and walking away means. that's the option I'm taking.